Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Reviews After Midnight. And on this episode, I am going to talk about a film that I hate. Um, a while back, I reviewed this, Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. And I hate this movie. I think this is an awful film. I think it is absolute garbage. But I found a film that's even worse. So, what had happened is a friend of mine gave me a couple totes of used movies. Covers were damaged, discs were scratched, discs were missing, a whole variety of things. And so I kind of went through the ones that, I'll keep these, maybe I'll trade these. Well, got to throw away these because they're all scratched. And, basically whittled it down. There was one Nicolas Cage movie in here. One. And I'm like, fuck, why does it have to be this movie? Because I remember playing this at a movie theater when I was an usher. And I didn't like it then. And I hate it now. I might even hate this more than Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. Maybe. Maybe only because Nicolas Cage is in this. I don't hate it as much. But I mean, it's like really close there. And the only reason why I watched it is because I wanted to make sure that it played right. And so I watched it again, maybe thinking I might enjoy it. Well, no, enjoy is not the correct word. That I could tolerate it. And I would keep it because it's Nicolas Cage. And I'm going to keep it because it's Nicolas Cage. And it will sit right back here with the rest of my Nicolas Cage movies. So that film is Trapped in Paradise. There's a reason why this has not been a traditional Christmas movie for people to watch, because it's garbage. This film is horrible. It is awful. Now, one, I don't like Jon Lovitz. I never have. I could tolerate him, but okay, in like other films and stuff. But I would never see a movie because he's in it. And it's got Dana Carvey, and I really don't like Dana Carvey. I'll take Wayne's World, and that's about it. I don't find him funny. I've never found him funny. I think that he is just awful, just horrible. And I mean, I can't say poor Nicolas Cage because, he read the script and he signed up for this. So, it's just bad. It's just horrible. And a lot of the movies that were in these totes, a lot of them were full screen. So they sit more like this instead of being like this, which would be widescreen. And I kept going, God, I hope this is full screen so I could just throw it in the stack to get rid of. No, it's got both full screen and widescreen. So I'm like, damn it. So let me read to you what this is about. Well, this also has John Ashton, who is wasted. You would know him from Beverly Hills Cop. Madchen, I think it's pronounced like a Mick. She's gorgeous, so she's really, really gorgeous to look at. David Moffat, who was in John Carpenter's The Thing, and the great Richard Jenkins. Why are you in this, sir? Why are you in this? So this is God. So it says here, what is the film? I got my list, and it's, film title. Well, Trapped in Paradise. Could you give a star rating? Normally, you just can't give a 0. Otherwise, I would. So I am going to give this, if we went 1 to 5, I would give this a 0.5. If I could give it a 0, I would. but I don't think you can when you actually give like a rating. I think you actually have to give something. So it's a 0.5. But if I could give it a 0, if I could give this thing a -100, I would. I mean, it's just it's awful. Um, so okay, so let me read you what this is. God, it's like I'm gonna have to relive it. Nicolas Cage, Dana Carvey, and John Lovitz are the larcenous. Uh, it's like Freepo brothers. Bill Cage is a good-hearted guy doing his best to keep pathological Dave Lovitz and kleptomaniac Alvin Carvey out of trouble. But the two small-time crooks lure their brother into robbing a bank in a small town of Paradise, Pennsylvania, where pulling off the heist is a snap compared to getting out of the town after a snowstorm hits. And the brothers soon discover that all their big city smarts are useless against the unexpected, good hearted townsfolk who shower them with kindness at every turn. So that's correct. That is correct. It, this is these people are incredibly nice. These are strangers. They basically, yeah, Nicolas Cage's character is fooled by Carvey and Lovitz to go to this town, and they basically, when Lovitz and Carvey were in prison, they overheard one of the guys talking about this town where like the bank security guard is 80 years old and always sleeping. It's really easy to rob the bank. It's really, all that type of stuff. So they get out, and it's hard for me to believe that even when they're at the parole board that they get out, because it's just so stupid. It's meant to be funny, but it isn't. And so they get out, they end up at home with their mother. Cage has a job at a restaurant, so he's legit. And when he gets home, the brothers are there, and he well, actually, I think he picks up, if I remember correctly, he picks up the brothers, and then but we see him at work, and then they con him. Basically, they manipulate him into believing that they need to go to this small town, and while the whole time it's really just to rob this bank. And the townsfolk are incredibly nice. If this was a horror film, probably like the first hour would be them being incredibly nice, and then they would be chasing after these three brothers to kill them and eat them because they're cannibals or something. That would have been a much better movie. Hey, copyright on that. Don't steal that idea. That's my idea. Copyright. And they get to the town, and like I said, everything is neat, is very nice. Madchen Amick is, like I said, gorgeous in this, and she works at the bank. She has her own kind of like dark history, which of course they have to, because she kind of falls in love with Cage. Cage falls in love with her, but to make it okay for her to be in love with him is that she has to have some sort of dark past. And they end up robbing the bank. They basically, the bank owner is like the wealthy man of the town, but he's not a jerk, which is Donald Moffat. And while they're robbing the bank, his wife says, "Oh, well, he's over having dinner at this place. Or lunch, whatever it is, and he can't come over here right now." So Cage takes the wife over to get the key or whatever it is, or to get the guy to open up the safe. And that happens, and they bring him back over. They open up the safe, they get the money, and then they're on the run, basically. The cops, like the local cops, are after him. There are which would be John Astin, and he has, I don't know, a son or something who's on the spectrum. He's not all there, which I guess maybe we're supposed to think is funny. They're both kind of like white trash rednecks, and they're going after Cage and the brothers for the money. You have the regular town cops, and then you have Richard Jenkins going after them too, who is like more like the FBI and stuff. And it's everything that could go wrong goes wrong. They actually, the two best characters and actors in this film is there's a dog called Tripod, because he has 3 legs, and then a horse that would have suffered the same fate as the horse in the Never-Ending Story. Instead of quicksand, it's an ice lake, and they do the brothers do get the horse out, which is nice. So there's some animal stuff in here that is good, and those, like I said, are the best characters. God, what? It's produced by John Davison. So going off of, yeah, I don't think this is based on a book or anything. So going off my list, okay, what did you expect from this film? I'm going to say nothing. I've always liked Nicolas Cage, so I think I was at least expecting to be entertained by Nicolas Cage, but he's even kind of annoying in this. He smokes a lot in this. He's like a chain smoker throughout it, because I guess everybody has to have their little quirk. Like, he doesn't have a quirk. You know, one guy steals, another guy, what do they say is, is pathological, and then the other brother is kleptomaniac. So they have to give Cage something. So they I guess they give him smoking. So he smokes a lot of cigarettes. And so I guess I was expecting maybe just be entertained by Cage, but I wasn't. And since I don't like, Jon Lovitz or Dana Carvey, I was expecting not to like this. Even when I originally saw it, when I was an usher, I got to watch it for free. And because I think during that time, this is 1994, my friends and I would just see everything in the theater. We would just, because, I would be able to get us in for free. So we would just watch everything that came to the theater. And unfortunately, we watched this, expecting, because who's in it, not to like it. And I did not like it. So when it's saying, what, like, what did you expect from the film? I guess really nothing. Maybe just a stupid comedy that I could just kind of sit there and, I don't know, just maybe there'd be a couple of good things, which I guess would be the dog and the horse. But I don't know. I expected nothing, because I knew that I would never like this movie, and kind of like, Eight Heads with a Duffel Bag, I gave it that second chance. I walked out of it at a movie screening, this one, and I never wanted to see it again. I think I did try it again and got a little further and then turned it off, and then I watched the whole thing for one of my reviews here. And just hated it. I just thought it was awful. And oh God, this one has David Spade, who I also don't like. Oh, but it does have Kirsty Swanson. So each film actually, oops, wait a minute, which way am I going? There we go. Each film has a good looking girl in it, so that's worth it. And I just, no. And this one, I really do think, well, maybe I think this is worse than Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. God, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure which one is worse. All right, so to continue, and I felt I had to do this review for it because I did sit down and watch it, and it's like, you know what? Let's not make this awful experience for nothing. Let me sit down and actually do a review for this. And okay, so What time of film is it? Well, it's allegedly a Christmas comedy. It does take place around Christmas, but it's not, in my opinion, a comedy. Does it have a message? I guess don't rob banks. Don't watch movies with Dana Carvey and John Lovitz in it. You know, only have this in your collection if you're a diehard Nicolas Cage fan. Maybe that's really it. I mean, that's because the second the brothers get out of jail, because they know of this town with this bank that's easy to rob, they're until, like at the very, 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 very end, I guess they change. I guess they have an arc 5 minutes before the movie ends, and then they change, their characters change a little bit. But throughout the whole film, Dana Carvey keeps stealing from these nice people. It's not funny. John Lovitz is like keeps lying through this whole thing, and it's not funny. And Cage is I guess kind of doing his best to, he's kind of going in between being, the bank robber and a good guy, and then he meets this girl that he likes, and she kind of seems to dig him, so he's tries to change a little bit, but the brothers keep pulling him back in. What happens in the film? Well, they're going to go rob a bank. Does the plot make sense? I would say to a degree, sure. I mean, the brothers hear of the easy to rob bank in prison. They get released. They make up a lie for the brother to, for the other brother to go to the town. And while they're there, they rob the bank. So, I guess it does make sense. Is it easy to follow? Sure. Yeah, it's easy to follow. Is it believable? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're thieves, you're three thieves, and you learn this secret in this town, and it's funny that like their mom is kind of like the mom from Goodfellas, who's Scorsese's mom. But when all of them, De Niro and Pesci and all them, are all sitting around the table eating, and she's the very Italian mom. This is kind of the same idea. That type of mom, and so it's believable to a degree. Yeah, why not? It's I mean, everybody has their dark secrets. Some people are just naive and very nice, and they'll help anybody really without vetting them and kind of seeing what they're up to. But I guess some people, especially the people in this town, are just very trustworthy. They're just very, very nice people. Like, they're the type of people who would, leave their car doors unlocked, or their front doors unlocked, or the windows open, and then they would leave and go to a movie or something, and they wouldn't worry about being robbed. So yeah, I mean, I'd say to a degree, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Ugh, oh God, no, it's believable. Oh God, this is not beautiful. Who are the main characters? No, these are our main characters right here. And what are they like? We already went over that. So we got Klepto, we got Chain Smoker, and we got Pathological. Oh yeah, Pathological. Why am I thinking like Pathological is Psycho? Pathological would be liar. Yeah, he's a liar. So you got a klepto, a liar, and then like a chain smoker. Who are the actors playing these parts? Well, we already went over that. And then, are they good in these parts? So, okay, here's what I would say to that. Are they good in these parts? Is he good as a klepto? Sure. why not? I think this whole movie, I'm gonna keep saying, sure, why not? Uh, um, yeah, I mean, he steals stuff, and I guess he does it in kind of like a klepto way. Is he like a pathological liar? Sure, sure. I mean, Lovitz does stuff like that well. And then, you got Nick Cage being torn between, the whole thing of robbing the bank or not robbing the bank. And shocker, they become better people in the end. They give back the money. He decides to stay in the town with the girl. Um, he basically chain smokes, I think, because um it's more of an anxiety type of thing that the brothers are putting him in. So yeah, I mean, he's a nice enough guy to where, you know, Madchen Amik would, or Mick Madchen Amuk, I'm not really sure how to pronounce her last name, would probably dig him, especially since she's got the dark past also. So, are they good in their parts? Sure. What is the camera work like? It is pedestrian. It is boring. Maybe because this is a Blu-ray and not a like a 4K or a Blu-ray, anything like that. It's not interesting. They do what they need to do, and that's pretty much about it. Yeah, oh, these two characters are talking. Well, let's do a two shot, and then that's about it. Oh, this is an emotional scene between two people. Okay, we'll get the two shot. We'll do shoulder over the shoulder, close up, close up. Okay, we're done. Let's move on. There's nothing interesting in this as far as camera work goes, as far as directing goes. There's just nothing interesting. I mean, it does its job, which I guess is the point. I don't think this is meant to be Citizen Kane. So, or my buddy Michael Bay, it does the point. It probably came in on budget or under, on budget I keep wanting to say over, on budget or under budget. They probably made their days as far as filming goes. I mean, it's probably one of those movies that, except for maybe the snow, the condition that it's in, everything was done. It's fine. The camera work is there's just nothing interesting about this. Are there special effects? I guess maybe some of the snow might be CGI or something. Maybe. I mean, this is 94, so maybe not. But I don't know if there's really any special effects in it. I didn't see any. What are they like? I'm going to say unknown. Are there? Here we go. Are there beautiful scenes? No, there are not. There are not. No. Are there moments when the camera is used in interesting ways? None. No, nothing at all. No. It does its job. It serves its purpose. It moves the movie forward, which I guess is what it's supposed to do. Editing and all that type of stuff. But it's just not interesting at all, which is probably why some of this annoys me so much. Is you got these three guys who have to carry this whole film that is incredibly bland. And I mean, I guess they do. Did you enjoy the film? Why or why not? I did not. And I've already explained why. And I hate this movie. I truly do. But sadly, it will sit back there with the rest of the Nicolas Cage movies. Now, if this was a different actor, I would never own this. In fact, if I found it in the tote, I probably would just sell it. If it looked sellable, I would just sell it. I wouldn't keep it. I'm only keeping it because Nicolas Cage is in it. What were the good and bad points? Good points: dog and horse, and Madchen Amik. Madchen, God, I just cannot pronounce her name. Madchen, it's like Amik or Amuk, Amik. Madchen Amik might be how you say it. So those three things are good. What scene did you particularly enjoy or remember? I guess the stuff with the animals. That's really about it. I don't remember liking. I don't think I liked any other scene. I mean, even Richard Jenkins, who I absolutely love, just wasn't. Yeah, he was a little over the top. Maybe didn't want to be there. I don't know. He's not his regular self. So, um, you know, yeah. So there's nothing that there's nothing that I could say that I enjoyed or remembered. Why was it good, or why do you remember it? No, there's nothing. There's nothing. What scene did you particularly not enjoy? Why was it bad? I mean, can a scene be the entire movie? It isn't just one scene, it's the whole movie. Why was it bad? It's a bad movie. It was a bad idea. The characters are bad. I mean, they do have characters. They're not just three brothers that are interchangeable. They all have their own quirks. So I could say that. You know, I know people who find this to be funny. I just didn't. I just really didn't. Um, would you recommend this film? No, I would not. No, not at all. To what sort of people and why? I would not. I would not recommend this to anybody. I just wouldn't. It's just not a good film. I would not. And why? Why? Because it's bad. So, would you recommend this film? No. To what sort of people? My enemies, maybe I would recommend it. And why? They're my enemies and they deserve to suffer through this. So that could be possible. Maybe that way. I don't know why my enemies would reach out to me to find out a movie to watch, but if they did, I would tell them, "Oh, watch Trapped in Paradise. It's hilarious." Are there any other films that you can compare to this? Another one that takes place, I think, around Christmas that I don't like, and I'm a huge Steve Martin fan, but I don't like Adam Sandler, is Mixed Nuts. There were in the 90s a whole bunch of comedies that were just not funny. I mean, maybe other people found them funny. The general public, Joe Blow might find them funny. The person who just has the 9 to 5 job and doesn't look at movies like I do, with that critical eye. Maybe they would like something like this, or something that's more kind of generic like this, that they might, put it on and then get a couple laughs out of it. And then a week later go, "Oh, hey, Fred, I watched that Trapped in Paradise. It was funny. You should check it out. Maybe your wife would like it." That type of thing, maybe. So that's the only thing that I can think of is, and comparing it to other movies is just generic 90s comedies, that have, I don't know, in this case, one good actor in it. In other cases, they might have two. But I can't off the top of my head compare it to anything except just for other bad generic 90s comedies. That's about it. So, all right, everybody, that's it. I was very angry with this movie, so sadly I will keep it. Ugh, I'm such an idiot at times. So, okay, well, thank you for watching this. I do appreciate it. I'm not sure when I'm going to watch next month. I have an idea of one film that I might watch. The cover art is so bad that I might have to watch it. I mean, it is some of the worst cover art that I have seen. So it's like, I have an interest. They got a regular guy, and then they took the celebrity's head and just stuck it, and it just looks bad. I mean, it really looks like it's cut and paste type of thing. So I don't know. Might do that one. I don't want to say what it is or give too much away, but maybe that one, just because of the cover. And you'll know what I mean if I do it. So, all right, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you on the next Reviews After Midnight.